This is what happens to these old silverware chests. You put big old heavy knives on the lid, and over the years your hinge comes apart. It never shuts right. It's flopping around. So the hinge needs to be put back down into the wood, stripped from the wood. The lid support has got to come undone. This felt is glued, so it's almost impossible to get out. We've been trying dowels and knives and all sorts of things to pull it out, and it will not pull out. So we are going to have to X-Acto knife it and glue it back. Will an X-Acto cut felt? Hard to say. It is. Yep. Even have a hinge screw pop out. So these hinges also have sharp points that go down into the wood. That's why it was hard to dislocate. What happened was that the wood split, and that caused the screw to come loose. And then the lid had the problem on this one end. Putting some wood glue in the crack. You see the glue squishing out the top. Nice tight clamp. 24 hours.
This part that was broken out and it wasn't formed very good, I was just taking a chisel and making it one surface flat, kind of at an angle to take most of the bad out, and then squaring up this other end with the same technique with a chisel. And then I had this scrap piece of wood that fits in there with the one big surface joining in the end. So you're just gluing two surfaces, and then later, after the glue sets, I come back and straighten it up.
We are using wood glue. And how long to set up?
A couple hours.
Using an X-Acto to cut it down.
3 different size drill bits here. This one will start with to make a new hole in the hinge. It's bigger than the threaded part of the screw. This one will be used to countersink and let the head recess into the metal just a little bit more. And this one we'll use to drill the pilot hole into the wood. We want to move these holes, and the wood are still kind of weak. So we're going to make new places for the screw to go in using a small hole that's already there. Here's the countersink part. It doesn't really take a whole bunch. You can see this previous one hardly had any work done on it. It goes under pretty good. It just doesn't want to stay in there, right?
Wow, first time in 50 years it's actually shut. I'm going to trim that in just a little bit because it stretched somewhat when we were trying to take it off. And we're going to do this end too. It's just a little longer, still raggedy. Using wood glue. Going to glue the felt back on. Don't want it to smash out particularly. Who's gonna ever know but us? It's like a pro job to me. Voila! Perfecto. I'm gonna finish this piece off with a little bit of vitamin E oil. I find that it polishes wood nicely. Just put a little bit on a rag. Here's a big gouge there. Let's see what it does. Sometimes it takes it off, other times it doesn't.